what he could see. But all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. The sailor
You
went
know,
to
you could just
sea.
say testing 1, 2 like everyone else.
Oh, hi, Carol. Sorry, I thought I was on mute.
No, it's okay. It happens all the time. So it's time for our weekly check-in. How have you been?
Oh, I'm fine, mostly. I'm keeping up with the work just fine. I got those deposition transcript summaries done, and two of the three medical records reviews are done, and I'm almost through with the last one. So you can send more over anytime. I know most of the paralegals hate depo and record reviews, so I'm happy to take them off their hands. But I mean, I'll take whatever work the partners want to send me, of course.
That's fine, but I meant, how are you feeling about your situation?
Well, I mean, it's a bit lonely, this working from home thing. And Mark, well, he's been putting in long hours at the hospital, and now they have all the emergency room staff sequestered, to keep them from bringing the virus home to family members. I haven't seen him in weeks, and he's been so busy, he keeps missing my calls.
So you're feeling lonely and sad.
Well, I'm trying to stay busy with work and not sit here and brood all day. And at least I have the baby to keep me company. He's napping right now. I have his bassinet right here. He does love that silly song about the sailor who went to sea.
The baby?
Yes, baby William.
Remind me again about William. I mean, I know that you didn't give birth to him, so take me through that one more time.
Well, you remember me telling you about my cousin who was in a terrible car accident about 5 or 6 months back.
Yes, I remember.
Well, Angela was a single mom, and she has no contact with William's father. His name's not even on the birth certificate. When she didn't come home that night, the babysitter, she was a high school student, called her parents. No one had any idea what had happened at first. So the babysitter and her parents looked after William for a few days, but they couldn't do it long term. Angela's in pretty bad shape. They're saying maybe she's in a permanent vegetative state.
How awful.
Yeah. And once CPS got involved, it became clear that someone from the family would need to step up or he'd go into foster care. And actually, he was in foster care for about 2 weeks. I mean, his foster parents were great, but it just made more sense for him to be with family, free that foster care spot up for a child who needs it more, right? And Mark and I were the only ones on that side of my family who could pass the background check. My aunt and my other cousins, well, let's just say they haven't always made the best life choices, you know what I mean? But wait, you already know this. You helped me fill out all the paperwork for my leave of absence when I had to travel to Angeles City to go pick him up, and the paperwork to get him on our insurance.
Okay, that's fine. So again, how are you feeling about everything?
Well, I mean, I've got the lockdown blues, like pretty much everyone else. It's lonely without Mark here. And this whole virus pandemic lockdown thing is, well, it's a trial, as my grandma used to say. I miss my friends. I miss going to the gym. I can't even go for a run outside anymore. These walls begin to close in sometimes. I start crying for no reason. But I'm sure everyone's feeling that way. And at least I'm still employed, and we have meal delivery and teleconferencing. Yay for teleconferencing. Though I can't get my mom to figure it out. I'm sure she'll work it out eventually. We are wired for connection, more evident now than ever.
How are you connecting?
How am I? Well, I mean, this video chat thing through email, texting. even actually talking on the phone. Like, who does that anymore? But I must say, while I really miss the office and most of the people there, I'm finding my home office delightfully Roger free. I don't miss him one bit.
Oh, yes, Roger.
Between you and me, I don't understand why the partners keep him around. We've lost some of our best secretaries and clerks because of his behavior, and we almost lost a huge client because of his screw up, which he then tried to blame on everyone but himself. Honestly, I swear my blood pressure has gone down 10 points since I'm not dealing with him regularly.
About Roger, he passed away.
Oh, oh no. Was it the virus? I'm so sorry. I mean, I can't stand the man, but this virus is nasty. It's a horrible way to die.
No, Melissa, you know how he died.
Oh, come on. I just found out now that he's gone. How could I know?
Melissa, we need to talk about the tragedy.
Pandemic. The pandemic is a tragedy, yes. Hundreds of thousands of people dead in this country alone, and so many more worldwide. And even the people who survive have lifelong problems. The, the economy is devastated because we all have to be on lockdown. We even had a toilet paper shortage at the beginning.
Melissa, you know there's no pandemic. There's no virus. There's no lockdown. You aren't at home. I don't work for your employer. Mark isn't at the hospital. He's dead.
No, of course he's not dead. What? Why are you saying such an awful thing? You know what? I know you're the head of human resources, but you're being really weird and cruel right now. I will be complaining to the partners about you. This is unacceptable.
Melissa, Melissa, you know what happened. Mark took baby William over to visit your mother on his day off. Your mother's estranged husband showed up in a rage over the divorce. He had his guns with him, and he shot them fatally.
What? No. Why are you lying? You're being cruel. Stop it.
Then your stepfather drove over to the office looking for you. He blamed you for the divorce, you know. You happened to be out of the office at a dentist appointment.
No. No.
He shot 11 of your coworkers. 7 of them died, including Roger. Then he shot himself. By the time you got back to the office, the police were there. They'd actually gone there looking for you to tell you about Mark, your mother, and the baby, and then they walked into a second crime scene.
No. No, no, no. You're lying, and I can prove it. I have baby William right here with me. See? He's fine. Aren't you, sweetie?
Melissa, you need to face up to what happened and deal with your grief and your guilt.
You are lying. Why are you doing this? There's a deadly virus raging right now, but my family is alive and they're just fine. I just can't see them right now. The office is fine. No one is dead. You're not making sense.
Melissa, please.
Oh, now look. Oh, now you've upset the baby. He's crying so loud, poor little dude. Shh, shh, shh. There, William. It's, it's just fine. The mean lady is going away now. Why don't we go get you a snack? What do you say, William? Yeah, sweetie. This conversation is over. I'm going to be calling the partners later. You can be sure of that. Now. Come on, boo-boo. No, don't you cry. Come on. The sailor went to sea, see what he does, see.
Inpatient weekly session notes by Dr. Carol Jenkins on patient Melissa Sinclair. It's now 6 o'clock on Thursday. Patient still is not able to accept the reality of what's happened. She seems to find comfort in believing that there's a worldwide deadly virus, rather than accept that her family and coworkers were the victims of gun violence at the hands of her stepfather. She's fixed in her belief that everyone, including her cousin's son, is fine. She simply cannot deal with her feelings of guilt that if William had remained with his foster family, he would still be alive. This is a very complicated case. Her current prognosis remains poor. I'll check in with her next week. Some adjustment to her medication may help. I would also recommend that she try joining group therapy. End of dictation. So it's odd. Note to self, Melissa is the 4th or 5th patient I've had recently who's constructed an elaborate fantasy of a deadly virus requiring a societal lockdown rather than face their personal tragedies. I wish I knew where this was coming from. Virus. Check with Dr. Choi, Dr. Cortez, and Dr. McDowell. Ask if any of their patients are exhibiting this behavior. End of dictation. It's just so strange. A viral pandemic. All things.